You all right? Yeah, not bad, mate. Not bad. The other thing we've got to do, we need to introduce the show. Has it happened? Hey, I'm very well, mate. Very well. I can see that we are indeed live on the internet. Please do not swear. Um, Good to see you. Let me have a look. Where are we going? Oh, in the background there. Is that? See? I've seen that coming along. Mm-hmm. I've got an empty bud bottle. I'll lob that on my computer screen. Yeah, it's a magical moment for me. I'm very excited. So we're going to be doing this. The hope is to do this the first Sunday of every month. Is that right?
Yeah, so the first Sunday of every month. I think a few people couldn't hear me then, but you should be able to hear me now. First Sunday of every month, we're going to try and do this live stream. It's just to catch up on everything that's going on within the community, whether it be the GBHL League, or things that we're doing, or things that's going on, things that we can talk about. We have a couple of things to talk about tonight, which are quite exciting. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Can people hear you yet?
They should be able to.
It's very confusing with the delay.
Yeah, it's a slight delay. Can everybody hear me? Just give me a thumbs up or say yes.
Still seeing a lot of Steve's mic isn't working, although they're about 20 seconds behind, aren't they?
Yeah.
Such is the confusing madness of this system.
I'll tell you what I'll do.
But yeah, why don't I keep talking? I keep talking because I can't hear you. So yeah, the idea is that we're going to do this every... it is good now. There you go. Thank you, Donkey Kong 0303.
I forgot to press one button. I set everything else up. I forgot one button.
Yeah, it's a good button, isn't it?
Yeah, it'd help.
It's a key one. But yeah, Dan G. Ross is in.
The legend.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to do first when we did the last one, which is crazy. And now I sound very distorted.
Yeah, you just keep looking out. It's because of your Wi-Fi, but you'll be fine.
Is it?
Yeah.
As long as it's fine.
Yeah.
Let's see if I change that.
It's that other stuff you're streaming in the background.
Yeah, obviously, I must be off doing it. I just turned everything down at my end. Hopefully that might be a bit. Hopefully that might be a bit better when it gets to about 20 seconds. Yeah, the idea is that every first Sunday of every month, have a bit of a chat on a Sunday evening about the hobby, and we decided to call it the Prancing Phonies because I don't know if you know, there's a pub in the Lord of the Rings that's called the Prancing Pony, and that sounds a bit like that.
Yeah, it's a twist.
It is. It's a
humorous
wordplay. Yeah, it is humorous. It's very, very funny. But also, we're kind of on the phone here, aren't we?
Yes.
We're sort of on the phone.
Futuristic Wi-Fi, Ethernet type phone. Yeah. I'll go with that. I'll go with that.
And neither of us have decided to what we're talking about.
No, obviously. Let's have a look who's in, say hello to a few people, and we'll have a chat about what we have been doing. So if I get this box up, there's quite a few in actually. I think we've got about 20 people in, which is great.
These 20 people getting irritated by the audio. Guess not saying it, Daniel's a lot distorted. What's going on?
I don't know, I can hear you fine at this end.
It's the same mic I've been using as well.
We need one of those little people in the corner who sign. I'm in the corner, I could do it for you.
I'll unplug, but I think if I unplug I'm going to get an echo now. Aren't they going to get the echo that you hate?
We'll try it.
Let's stop.
Yeah.
Alright, so that's now just me talking and you should come through mine, right?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you, but I reckon they're now going to say there's an echo.
Well, does everybody prefer it this way to how it was a second ago?
I think what's happening is Steve's mic is now picking up Damien.
Okay.
I think that was the previous 20 seconds. It's so hard to say.
It's a nightmare.
This is why we call it the Prancing Phonies, you see, because we don't know what we're doing.
We pretend we know what we're doing.
That's better. That's better. Oh, look at it. Yes, that seems better. They're all going nuts for it.
Yeah, they love it. They love it.
There we go. Echo, Edward Ball. Echo isn't bad. That's like a big hug from him. Much better. Oh, we'll go with that. And now I'm not constrained. I can go over here. Or I could go over here.
That's much better for you, yeah. You're not. I mean, I'm all right. As long as I'm all right, I don't mind.
Yeah, well, there you go. Brilliant. Slight echo, not bad. Well, onwards then.
Let's do it. So we were checking who was in. We have Patrick McLean. Welcome, Patrick. Green Tree's in. Hi, Green Tree. He's a regular. Chris Murphy's in. The legend that is.
I live and breathe.
Gibbalot says hello. Mr. Lucas Whitcroft Wright is in. Glenn's in. Hey, Glenn.
Lucas.
Yeah, Lucas. Not seen Lucas for a while. I think he's grown about 2 foot since I last seen him.
think he's about 30 now, isn't he?
Fo Hammer's in, Josh Bryant's in, Bradley Cobden, James Gilray's in, Donkey Kong 0303. I don't know who that is. Does that ring any bells with you?
A massive gorilla.
Donkey Kong, if we know you have another name, please let us know in the comments. If not, welcome. Nice to meet you. Billy Huggins is in. David Alexander's in. Welcome, David.
Oh, yeah, it's just full of people I haven't seen in years. It's great.
That's good. Matthew Prescott. Good evening, Matthew. Zafai Engel is in. Zafai Engel he was always on Speak Friend and Question. Am I correct?
Yeah. He's old school GBHL.
Yeah, rings a bell. James's Miniature Space. How you doing, James? Jen Elmo. Dan G. Ross, our friend. Let's see, have I got everyone? Billy Huggins, James, Chris. Ed's in. The absolute legend that is Mr. Ed Ball. Mr. Ed Ball's done very well in the next one tournament today. So well
result, I saw the result at the end of yesterday. I didn't see.
I think it was two different events. Correct me if I'm
wrong.
Two
different
Ed.
Events.
Yeah, an event yesterday and an event today. So correct me if I'm wrong, Ed. I think you podiumed yesterday and you won it today, which is very, very well done. Damien, turn your speakers down.
I've just turned my speakers down a bit.
And Ed is letting everybody know that tickets for his event, the Battle of Unnumbered Tears, go on sale tomorrow. Buy his tickets.
Yeah, he's also he's asked about Seven Stones. We were chatting about Seven Stones, and I said that he should come on here and harass us on telephone, and he's done it.
He's a man of his word, if nothing else.
He's walking his own event, which is the Battle for Unnumbered Tears. The tickets go on sale tomorrow. You should go to that, man. It's at Sanctuary Gaming Centre, run by Mr. Edward Ball and Mr. O. Wright. And
it's a good event. I've been. Yeah, I've been
once.
I've been once. It's a good event. I like the
very
venue.
Good event.
It's a good venue. I like it. And it's run by two guys who know what they're doing, so that's always good. Unlike that Seven Stones thing.
Yeah. The answer to that, I think else is serious, because it was a real question, is of when they go on sale is soon. We've got to get the rules back up first.
For Seven Stones.
As go the new GBHL rules, meeting up with Tom to actually do that.
Yeah.
But everyone, essentially, we've also, it's right, on the, so the hope is that all the people, if you reserve the space, you know you're coming.
Yeah. It's a good place to be in when you've got people on the waiting list. Which I think Seven Stones always gets, right?
Yeah, well, we've got more than normal now.
Yeah.
Which is cool. But we can't physically fit that many people more in that hall, which is annoying because there's about I think there's about 16 teams or something on the reserve list, about 30 people.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Which is insane.
Yeah.
So we'll do what we can, but who knows?
Yeah. So, hobby-wise, what have you been up to since we last spoke?
So, in a big shocking twist, I've been working on my GT army, which I think I haven't gone back and rewatched it, but I think we said we probably wouldn't be able to do this because I'd be so far behind on my GT army.
And are you?
Here we are. Yeah, massively behind. I'm still inexplicably taking an hour and a half out to do this. Have you seen? I've been putting posts up on the group, like counting down.
Yeah.
I have to abandon it. I'm not going to get them all done.
So what are you going to do? Are you going to change your list then, or are you going to borrow?
Well, neither. I'm just going to not paint new versions of Aragorn or Leggy. I'm not going to get Aragorn or Leggy done. I haven't got a chance.
Yeah.
But I've recently converted. Where is he? I converted this Aragorn.
Yeah, that's cool.
Converted him. So he's relatively new.
I like that one.
and I painted up Legolas just after throwing the skulls.
Yeah.
So I'm using them. But Gimli, the only Gimli I've got is one that I painted 7 years ago. I have to try and get Gimli done.
Right. And what about is your evil army's done? Because I've seen your catapult.
So very.
That looks cool.
Yep.
I say your evil army, is that done?
It's done.
Done.
There's 4. We have Gotham finished at the top of his base.
Yeah.
We've got Guretz, who's very nearly finished.
Yeah.
Moran and Bannerbearer, who's and then we've got Gothmog mounted, who's very silver.
And the event's next weekend, right?
Yeah. So I've got 4 evil models to finish, and Gimli.
What are you doing here?
And then I got this.
As if you didn't have enough to do, mate.
Which is kind of making progress now.
Yeah.
It's just got a paint on. But as chunky as that looks now, that is literally basically just a few dry brushes away from being finished.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So you've got loads to do. You're going to be a busy boy this weekend, I think.
I think so.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Mate, what about you?
Well, I've been just making boards like crazy at the minute.
Just for the GT?
Yeah. Well, I'm not playing in the GT. I'm hoping to pop down on the Saturday evening, which would be cool. But I've done a Shire board, so I ended up chopping up a load of hobbit holes that I'd already made.
Yeah.
And such. Yeah, that's done. I've got Moria, which you can see here, which is almost
beautiful.
There. I've just got it just needs a little bit of dressing, a bit of detailing, and then that's done. And then I need to get another board finished before the end of the month for the Top Table Legacy Weekender. And I don't know whether to do Pelennor or Erebor. I'm not sure yet. Depends what I can be bothered doing.
I haven't heard of the Top Table Legacy
Have you not heard about
it? What's that?
Have you got another hour and a half? And I'll tell you.
I'm only just hearing about it, man.
No, but it's been fun doing, but it is a labour of love. I'm burning myself out with it because I'm working, coming home from work, having tea, sorting the kids out, and then doing 3-4 hours in the evening, and then back up at 5-6 in the morning, going back to work. But I'm happy with that one.
That's exactly how I feel. That if you said a week to do it, I'd be fine. But I haven't got a week to do it. You know, I've got hours an evening for 5 evenings. That's not enough.
Yeah, it is. It's tough.
Hey, mate, it looks really good.
It's getting there. So I've been doing the boards. I'm painting a Ruffian army to play a scenario on the Shire board. Mr. Red Ball, who's in the chat, he's going to lend us. Well, he's going to come down and play in it. I think his hobbits, which will be cool.
Cool.
I'm painting some of my hobbits as well, just because I started painting them randomly. I've done Sharky and Worm. I painted the new Orc captains. And that's it, I think. I say that's it, like it's not a lot. Oh, I started painting a Balrog, even though I've already got one painted. Standard.
I did have I had more positive. You know, since the last time I finished all those Moranas I was working on. I finished the catapult. I finished the troll.
Yeah.
A fair bit.
I seen like the pictures you were posting up. I thought you were well on with it. I thought you were like nailing it. But then obviously you've just told me what you've got left, and it's like, oops. I'm
pleased with the stuff. It's just as ever.
It's one of those things, isn't it, mate? It is what it is, isn't it? If you're not painting the night before a tournament, what is it they say? It's not a proper tournament, something along those lines, isn't it?
So
I say they say if you're not painting your army the night before a tournament, there's something wrong.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Let's have a look. Right,
That'll
okay.
be after the. I'm planning a big session.
Yeah. So what else have you been up to?
Also, should we catch up with the chat?
Yeah, do it. I'll let you do it.
We jump it. So we've got a stream of consciousness from Ed. Stuff about trial in Preston, and then he went 4-0 and won in Element Games. Well done. Seven Stones and Scary Went's both terrible. That's you out. What's Prancing Ponies? We went through this, didn't we? What's Prancing Ponies? It's the name of this dreadful, dreadful show. Bradley Cobden says, how did you convert that Aragorn? Heroes of the West, Aragorn's body with the Weathertop Aragorn's arms. The article series I did on Warhammer Community Mode, there's a thing 3, part 2 or 3. Brief breakdown for that. It says it's in the pub in Brie. Yep, Prancing Ponies.
Damien, I think your internet's crashed the show. Totally blaming you. Okay, let's see what we can sort out here quickly. I think we've lost Damien, which is not great. Can Can you guys still see me, or I'm just trying to get Damien back at the moment?
Is that better? I'm all right. You? Is that your computer updating? So it was you. Oh, mate. Well, I mean, that's probably good news, isn't it? Because it means it's not me buggering it up again. It's normally me, isn't it? Call that 2-1.
So
the question now, though, for my Wi-Fi is this now the start, or is this at half an hour in? You know.
I know. Let's have a look.
I've got. Do you know what they heard up to? What I was saying. I was doing the comments.
No, because you just went off.
Or before I started doing the comments.
You done Ed's, where he said our events were bobbins.
Yeah.
And that's when you went off.
See Taylor's comment. They're watching it in Canada at a tournament.
Are they?
Yeah, or they're trying to.
Until my update.
Yeah.
Let me just see if I think we're live. Can everybody see us?
I think we're back. Are we back? It's very exciting. It wasn't my fault.
We are showing as being live. So if I click this,
we've lost everyone, obviously.
Oh no, we're cooking.
Yeah.
We're back. Sorry about that, everybody. I was blaming Damien.
Back in the room.
It was 100% my end. But on a brighter note, my Windows is up to date, so we're all right.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. You were worried about that. You were worried about that earlier, weren't you?
Yeah,
I don't want to do the stream without the update. Yeah, it's a nightmare.
We got there. It's never a proper live show unless we have some technical difficulties.
No, absolutely not. And I kept them. I kept them excited. I told a joke. Told them about your Windows thing.
Right. So, do you want to carry on, Damien?
I was doing comments, wasn't I? Is that right?
You've got quite a lot to catch up on now, mate.
Absolutely. Let's try and brush through these.
Most of it will be, where have they gone?
Yeah.
Is that it? Is that the Prancing Phonies? 10
so,
minutes?
Ed had won. We talked about the list I'm bringing. Is that right?
Yeah.
He said, what do you need to borrow? Don't need to borrow anything. Going to paint it all. Bradley Cobter said, how do you convert that Aragorn? Did you get to that?
Yes. You said it was.
Yeah, did that?
Yep.
On the comment, good. Legolas conversion from Zarfay Engel is not going to get done in time for the GT, hopefully in the future. What do you need to borrow? Don't need to borrow anything. Shut your face and show us that table. I don't think he can. If he moves his computer, it goes back a step in an update. Billy Huggins, what are the best paint brushes to get? You know more about that stuff than I do.
What best paintbrushes? I use a mixture. So I use the Artist Opus brushes, which I've been trying out, which are very good. Artist Opus was on Kickstarter. They're just bringing out a new stubby range, which will suit me better. And the Winsor & Newton series.
A stubby range?
A stubby range, like a stubby. Because I don't know if you can see these. They've got quite long bristles.
Hang on, I'm looking on the chat, which is behind, and you're pointing at the Mario board.
There you go. That's for you. They've got quite long bristles, but I'm not a fan of long bristles. I like them to be quite short and stubby. I went right into that, didn't you? As long as they're wide, it's all right.
Right, okay.
You've got to be careful, we're on the GBHL now, Damien.
Yeah, so short and stubby, but quite wide.
Yeah.
That's what you want in a brush.
Yeah, as long as they fill the pot.
Oh, absolutely. I don't have a bloody clue, to be honest. I largely use the Citadel ones, and I've got some Army Painter ones. I've got a, they call it an insane detail Army Painter brush.
I've got one of those. It's got like 3 bristles on it, hasn't it?
Yeah, we got it in the gift bag at Nova one year, and it was really, really good. So I kept using those.
Yeah. What do you use that for then? Eyes?
I use it for insane detail, Steve. Yeah, just eyes and stuff. But basically, I don't know. I think I largely use the Citadel ones, but I'm not very good at that sort of stuff. So I'm not the person to ask. Steve's far hobbier than me.
I'm just going to try this. Does that help people? Does that work?
Depends what you're doing, really. Ball's looking great, Steve, from Andy Tucker. Ed thinks it's arable. Glyn Seymour says, thank God for this show to relax me after a stressful day of hobbying, and then we went offline. Brilliant.
This is relaxing.
Yeah, it's not relaxing for me. And then a lot of cracks at the expense of my Wi-Fi. Not my fault. I had an opponent doing finishing touches to his army during day one, David McSherry says, since best army voting wasn't until lunchtime.
Whilst playing.
Yeah, that's amazing. Have we frozen? Looks like it's all on you, Steve. No probs. Yeah, Josh Brightman says it's the computer saying get on with your GT army. Yeah. Then I think it's all just gibberish chatting about the fact we're offline. Dan G. Ross, perfect timing, just gone into the office now, so I have rum and hobby stuff on the go. Enjoy.
Good man.
Bradley Cobden says, what colours do you paint Moran's skin? I did mine, where are we? Castellan green as a base. And then I went up through Deathworld Forest and up to Nurgling green. And then I worked in some
greens, some greys, and some like browny yellow.
Brownies. And then I worked that in the XV88, which must be something out of 40k. Yeah. I used that to shade them. Nice. That's what I did. Just do whatever you want. There's tons of colours. Lots of stuff about short and stubby. Do you only... Yes, we were talking about brushes. And we're up to date.
Good stuff.
Tim Hines says, do you find Morgul Stalkers having a use in the new edition? Hi, Tim. How you doing, man? Or do you feel a Morannon is more worth it?
What's the Morgul Stalker?
Let's find out.
Are they in Mordor?
They're in, yeah, Warriors of Mordor. So they are 10 points, so more expensive. They have fight 3, strength 4, defense 4, 2 attacks, 1 wound, and courage 3. And they have Stalk Unseen, which is less useful now. I would.
Unseen? I can't think what that is.
It's an Elven Cloak.
Ah,
right. But it obviously only works on terrain rather than models.
Yeah.
So you're really looking at the Stalk Unseen +1 courage and +1 attack against +2 defense. I think it's the Morannon all day for that.
I'd rather take 3 Morannons over 2 Morgul Stalkers for a points difference. All day.
You'd have to pay an extra point to get the Morannon a shield. So they're 8 to 10. But yeah, for me, it's the defense 6 is ace.
Yeah. I agree.
Bradley Compton is trying to get them batch painted, but it's a long time since I batch painted anything. That's exactly where I was with them. I batch painted 24 of them. I hadn't batch painted that many in over 2 years. But I got through it. Good models.
Talking of batch painting, hobbits. I have 12 of those. Hobbits. I have. Could you see those? Lots and lots and lots and lots of ruffians. They're all over the place.
Oh, cool. How many you got?
Altogether, so 15, 12, 27. I've got 36, and Tim Garlic.
36 ruffians.
And Tim Garlic painting about another 20 plus, I think, for this.
Is that how many you need?
Well, I'm not doing a set scenario. We're going to create one, but they're only cheap.
Oh, cool.
They're only cheap, so we want it to be about 400 or 500 points.
Yeah, that's a lot of ruffians.
So and then it's a lot of hobbits as well.
Yeah.
Hence why I'm
cool, though.
Painting up more hobbits. Yeah, they're nice models.
They're cool models.
Nice models, yeah. Where was we up to then?
I think we're caught up.
We caught up.
Yeah, I did speed commenting. I think most people have gone to the pub, to be honest. We lost them. There's a few stalwarts staying in.
Oh, no, I've got 26 people in watching us, mate. 26.
But there are. This is a true story. There is I think it's a tournament.
Watching on one telly in Canada, though.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. There's Fine Taylor's post. So a big shout out to if you are the people in Canada who currently can't hear us. He doesn't say, yeah, it's just at a tournament. It's on a big screen in Canada.
We're on a big screen.
Yeah, this is nuts.
How big can we get? Look.
How big can we get? Oh, you lean in.
Yeah, how big?
That must be massive. Hello, Canada. I am your ruler. But yeah, that's kind of nuts. So hi to Canada. I hope I can't imagine anything worse than watching this at a tournament.
Oh, should we be playing games? Get the games to be played.
There's two fat old men trying to get the internet to work.
Whoa! Calm down.
Sorry, you're not old.
You cheeky bleeder. Fullhammer says he's painting 25 ruffians, which that's Tim. He's painting them to borrow to us to film. So thank you very much.
Fullhammer's Tim Garlick?
Yeah.
Right, I didn't realise.
Get with it, Damien. Did you not know this?
No, sorry, man.
You need to get on the live stream more often, mate.
I don't know all the kids' lingo.
Dan G. Ross has brought the pub with him. I think we're working nice and smooth now. My Windows is updated. It's awesome.
Yeah.
You know what I should have done? Updated it.
Should have updated it before we started.
Yeah. That would have been an easy thing to do.
Do you know what I wasn't tempted to do during this live stream?
Go on.
Update my computer. It's just the way I think about things down here in the south, But
I don't. Me and technology do not get along very well. I don't really.
That is absolutely dreadful, though. If your computer just decides to do that,
just I'll do it now. I'll do it now. I'll update now while he's live streaming.
Have you seen this? David Alexander says you should start randomly calling out incorrect game time remaining announcements. Players in Canada, you have 5 minutes remaining. 5 minutes remaining.
End of turn, boys. Dice down.
That's amazing.
No.
So yeah, it seems we're back and we're working, so we can get kind of back to it, as it were.
Yeah. Are you painting right now?
Yeah.
Did our conversation actually make you realise that you've got like less than a week?
Yeah, well, absolutely. Look, here we go. But some would say that my rubbish painting is due to using brushes like this. Dry brushing Gothy.
Standard. So,
but a few people said, shouldn't you be painting
this weekend, Damien?
What?
This weekend.
This weekend.
What have you been up to? Was it this weekend or was it last weekend?
You mean last weekend, don't you?
Yeah.
So indeed, we've got some stuff to show you potentially. That God knows if it'll work.
It'll work. I'm updated.
It'll work. So last weekend, myself, Tom Harrison, and James Long all converged to do the photo shoot for issue 8 of SBG Magazine.
Yep.
And it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We put a few posts up on the group, and we spent whatever that is, 72 hours taking photos for that, and for issue 9 actually.
That'd be awesome.
Because we're trying to do the same crazy thing we did last year, which is release issue 8 at the end of May and issue 9 in Ardcom.
That's what you should do from now on. Just don't have any free time and just keep releasing each issues.
Well, it means we have a really, really chilled out second half of the year.
Yeah.
Like, because after August we don't do anything, but then the first half of the year is just absolutely grim.
I took part in one of these photo shoots and can say it was thoroughly enjoyable.
You did for issue 5, yeah.
And you weren't there.
I wasn't.
How rude.
You and me. I had a baby, didn't I?
Yeah. That's crazy. How long ago that was.
Yeah, our little girl turned up 3.5 weeks early, and I didn't go to the photo shoot for issue 5.
It was a lot of
fun.
fun.
Leave Tom in creative control. That's madness.
It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was good.
It was a lot of fun. So,
you did well. You did very well.
Do you want me to Damien has kindly sent me some teaser pics of what he's been up to last weekend.
Super secret teasers.
Yeah. Do you want me to?
Scott Hughes said you're still a bit quiet compared to Damien. Don't know if you can go up a bit.
Let's have a look. Do I sound better now?
Yeah.
And what I'll do is, while I'm shouting at the camera, I will post the first pickup.
So should I now be looking at our feed?
Yeah, so you look at
How the
YouTube.
hell do I see?
You look at YouTube.
I look at YouTube. It'll come up in 20 seconds though, right?
Yeah, there's an overlay of a semi-handsome person holding up what looks like a foam wall.
Right, okay. And I have that. Actually, that's what I was going to do. I've got that very foam wall. Can you believe it?
It should be up on the
It's not there yet. It's not there yet. But yeah, when so what's the picture of?
It's James Long holding a white tile with some bricks drawn on the bottom of it.
Indeed it is.
Can you see
Still
it?
not up there.
It is. I can see it on my YouTube.
Is it? Oh, there it is. It's just come up. Just come up. There he is. There's Mr. James Long. So yeah, this was as part of the photo shoot. We had James Long. What do you think he's doing, Steve? Have a guess.
Holding a white tile up. I don't know.
If it helps, I've actually got. I can show you the live tile. So this is one of our board sections, which now has this on the back.
So not only is it a wall section, it's the playboard for a 50-point bat rep as well.
Yeah, this is just one of my standard gaming tiles that we had with us.
So I'm assuming James is holding it up as some sort of background.
Sounds very sensible. But if you notice, there's some extremely intentional cropping done on that photo.
Oh, is there?
So if you have a look right down the bottom, there might be other the hintiest of hints available.
Well, I'll tell you what I'll do then, just to be a little bit cheeky.
Yeah.
I'll make this picture bigger so people can see. Like this. Look at this.
Let this be the hour when we draw walls together from Bradley Cobden. That is very funny.
So what do people think? Well, I can see a troll.
You see a troll, can you?
Is that a troll?
I don't know.
Well, you know better than me.
I couldn't possibly say.
It looks
Zarf Angle says. Yeah, Zarf Angle says, is that a Mordor troll? It could well be. So yeah, obviously it is for the photos. People saying, is that a troll down there? It is obviously for the photos. It's not just for poops and giggles that we got James to hold up some foam for the weekend. But yeah, in a very sort of low-tech way, we've got James Long holding up what looks like white brickwork in the back of a photo.
Yes.
Oh, Zarf Angle, that axe is surely a Morannon Orcs, he says.
I'm just really happy that this is working.
Yeah, people are actually going for it. It's good. Normal plastic. It is a normal plastic Mordor troll. I think it's this one.
Yeah.
That was my Mr. Smashy Pants, my new Mordor troll. Chris Murphy has guessed at the walls of Minas Tirith. Oh,
could it be?
Who knows? But yeah, that's one of my photos, and I promise this is what's nuts about this stuff. That photo is in the magazine.
Nice.
So it's not going to be, you're not going to see this big polystyrene wall, but I promise James Long holding some drawn bricks on a piece of foam is in one of the glory shots in the magazine. And we're really chuffed with it. We're really pleased with it.
I mean, obviously a troll in front of a white wall, but is it going to be obvious that that's the pic from that shot?
Yeah, probably. I think there's only one that it could be.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, we're quite pleased with that. But yeah, James did a really good job. He was standing there holding that for quite some time.
Is he still there now?
Yeah. And so as I think you can probably show people, we asked him to hold up some other stuff.
Oh, see, this is the problem. This is the problem, David. I don't know what order these are going to come out in.
Oh, really? Is it just going to be random?
So the next.
I think you'll find. I think you'll find, Steve. The files were labelled James 1, 2, 3. surely one could work.
Who didn't update his Windows before a live stream, so.
Absolutely, yeah.
So let's see. What
you would have thought you could work it out.
Yeah, let's see the next pick. Let's have a look. Well,
absolutely.
That's the same pick. So.
Brilliant.
Nice. So let's get rid of that.
The same pick.
So James Long again. Holding up.
And what's he holding?
He's holding up another tile.
Yep.
It's a sandy browny greeny colour.
That is Steve, you are holding up the second picture. You've done it. You smashed it.
Thank you very much. I'm here all week.
That's quite all right. Yeah.
So,
thank you, fate.
There it goes. It's popped up. People can now see it. There's some trees.
There is.
Yeah. This looks like.
So this is James once again holding up something in the back of a photo.
Yeah. So is this to simulate the effect of looking into the distance then, just so you don't see the black background?
Yeah, essentially. So to give people some idea of this, if you've got any other magazines, the glory shots inside, and the glory shots are ones where you can't see any dice or you can't see any players, and they look hopefully quite artsy. That's what we call the glory shots. So the ones that are meant to be quite immersive. And if you ever get a low angle for those, and you take the photo, you invariably get tons and tons of black in the background.
Yeah.
And we go about, and we've got like about 2 approaches. One of which is photoshopping it. Yeah. Putting like we sometimes put skies in the background, and the other one is we do what James is doing here, and we'll hold that up, and because the way the depth of focus works, what that will look like is a cliff in the background.
Okay.
That's kind of miles away.
Yeah.
And so I like showing stuff like this because it's so bizarre. You know, you see something like that, it looks absolutely insane.
Yeah.
But when you see the photo, that will just look like it's a kind of mountain range in the background behind all those trees.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing that. What I really like about that picture is the fact that you guys might not, it might have been a northern thing, but you know, when you were at school, did you ever draw that picture of a little guy peeking over a wall? Now, if someone doesn't make a meme out of that, I will not be happy.
Absolutely. So, but yeah, it's quite bizarre to think that when we get these photos that we don't take the photos. So when I say the photos are great, that's not kind of arrogant because it's someone else's work. But Jim's photos are just amazing.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that in these beautiful photos you've got someone like that. You've got a bloke just standing at the back of it holding something up. You know. Mm. It's very, very cool.
Okay, right. Let's have a look at the next picture. So the next picture is another one of James Long.
Yeah, by this point he was getting really good at holding stuff up, and so we were just keen to kind of keep him going. And some would argue that at this point he sort of he jumped the shark a bit, and he was just wanting to hold stuff up for the sake of it. Because I don't know if you can look at this photo and see what the kind of intrinsic flaw in it is.
Well, you should be able to see that now. What he's holding up.
It hasn't come around to me yet, but I reckon it will any second.
So it is James Long holding up a piece of black cloth. Would I be right in assuming that this is James Long 3?
This is indeed James Long 3.
I'm getting good at this.
Yeah, no, you're very good. It's almost like they've come up in the chronological file name.
Don't jump the gun yet.
No.
Don't jump the gun. So a bit of an explanation for this picture then? Can you give a little bit away of why he's holding up a black background?
Yeah, well, have you not? You obviously haven't seen it yet, have you?
Yeah.
No, I mean, what's wrong with that photo?
I'm talking about the people.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah. But yeah, this was one of James's moments. He was in some of the wider shots. He was doing a really great job of holding up this black cloth to kind of cover up all the mess in the background. And he was standing there for a good minute or so before we pointed out to him, James, there's a black cloth behind you, mate. It's like he He was used to doing it. Like you can actually see in that photo, you see the side where the window is. He was used to standing there and doing it.
Well, I'm actually looking at the pure concentration on his face. So
yeah, absolutely.
I think
how long? He's a smart man.
I've got to zoom that in. That's got to be zoomed in. So
how long do you leave a man standing there like that? You know?
Look at this. This is gonna get special. Watch what I do with this picture now. Oh dear.
It hasn't come through for me yet.
It will come through. It'll be worth the wait. The concentration.
I'm sure.
It's insane.
Because I'm obviously watching because I'm watching on YouTube, so I've got the same lag they have, haven't I?
Yeah.
But I reckon it's going to be hilarious. I believe in you.
He's such a good-looking fella, though, isn't he?
Oh yeah, so good. Like it's like having Zac Efron there with you. So hard.
Look at that. Look at that concentration. That's giving it all. That's giving everything to the cause. That.
Yeah, he did. But he was, all joking aside, he was hugely helpful throughout the weekend. And having that, here comes the Zoom. And having him there, it's like when you and Dave would have done it. Like it's the extra pair of hands, you know.
Yeah.
It's hugely useful.
Far more goes into it, I think, than people realise. I was quite shocked. I thought, right, well, you just set a few models up, take a few pictures, done. And it's there's a lot more to it. There's a lot of standing.
Yeah,
there's a lot of standing around.
They take a long time. Yeah. The covers, when we do the cover, they tend to take, the cover photo will take about 2 hours or something like that. Yeah. To set it all up, to then move every bit of scenery and stuff. Yeah. The other good thing about this one that we're very excited about is we've got the cover. We're really excited about the cover. I think it's well cool. And we've also done the cover for issue 9.
Oh.
Already, yeah. So it's the first time ever that we've done the next cover at the previous photo shoot. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So we kind of, it's quite cool because we're sitting on issue 9 now as well. We've got the cover for that all done, and obviously we can't show that for about 6 months or so. But, it's pretty cool.
It's a long time to wait, isn't it?
Yeah. It's also a long time to write the bloody magazine.
True. True. Right. Well, I think we'll move on to the next one, shall we?
Yeah, sure. What's the next one?
The next one is 3 very intelligent-looking people around a table.
Oh yeah. Okay, so the reason I sent this over is it's a bit of a teaser. We don't like to give away too much about what's in it, but every issue of the magazine so far has been focused on a place, a single place, or a single event, or a battle, or something like that. Had like Azenor Bazaar, Dolgold, or Dale, Battle of 5 Armies, Stone Giants, that sort of thing.
Yep.
And this one isn't. This Zarfa Engel straight in there, I see Terrier. This issue doesn't have that kind of theme, but it does have a theme.
Okay.
And this photo gives the best kind of subtly hint about what the theme of this issue is, essentially.
Okay.
So yeah, there isn't going to be. It's not going to be. It's not the Pelennor Fields. You know, that isn't the theme of it. Or it's not. You know, I don't know, Helm's Deep or something like that. It doesn't work quite like that. Which actually means it's something we're really excited about.
Right.
The kind of approach we've taken. I think it's going to be a bit slightly different issue. But yeah, I don't even know if this photo will actually make it in. But we took a bunch of kind of these sort of photos. And there's all the clues. There's literally everything you need in that photo to work out exactly what this issue is about, which is hopefully intriguing and hopefully obscure.
Knowing you guys, there's pretty much everything in that picture will be a hint towards what people want to be looking at. Yeah.
So what, Steve? Because you genuinely don't know.
But unfortunately, I will be turning it off in a minute. So people need to screenshot it now.
Yeah, absolutely. These are the huge. You know, this is the big news. Forget Elfhelm.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the stuff people want to read about. So Steve, could you have a punt? What do you reckon?
I mean, there's a lot in that picture. I really want to. I mean, I can only see it the size it is on that chat screen now, which is smaller than the actual size of the picture that you sent me. But now, listening to what you said, I will be zooming in on what page the books are open on. You know, the fact that there's 3 Hunter's dice, 1 ring dice, and Rohan dice. I'm assuming that means something.
It definitely means something.
Yeah. So I will be perusing over that photograph.
The one thing I will say is I wouldn't agonise over what pages we're on.
Okay.
And if anyone couldn't work out what page I'm on, then you don't know me at all.
Yeah, David Alexander's asking if James's lack of socks is an important detail.
Yeah. Well, me and him have the same feelings about socks. If you ever watched the Planty, I hate socks. I don't like them at all. And I'd rather never wear socks.
Free the toe. Hashtag free the toe.
Yeah, absolutely. And James feels very similar to me. So that's where me, him and Zach all agree. Chris Murphy has said the magazine competition of how many times James appears. Oh, that would be a good one. I suppose that is a bit of a spoiler that James Long is in issue 8. He's obviously, we get people along for reasons. He's in it, and he's also you're going to be seeing a fair bit of James Long in the next few SBGs.
Nice.
He's going to be turning up, holding stuff. It's his holding section. Zarf Engel suggested the trees of Athelion, perhaps, for that. That's cool.
I'll give people a little... I'm going to zoom in a little bit so people can see. Let's have a look. Am I all right to zoom in?
Yeah, do whatever you want. Faux Hammer suggests a 3 Hunters theme, presumably because of the dice. It's interesting. Bradley Cobden, I'm studying photography, so if you ever need a hand, I'd happily help out a photo shoot. It'll help you and give me some... yeah, maybe, Bradley. Thank you for the offer. That's really kind of you. We do it all at Tom's in-laws, essentially, Lily's parents. And so we're there at their hospitality for a couple of days. It's they're lovely, lovely weekends, but we fill their house with nerds. But yeah, it's definitely something I'll bear in mind. Thank you for the offer. And Dave McShear, is this the next counting challenge? How many dice are in the issue? Could be. We haven't. I don't think we've actually figured out if we are doing a competition for the next one.
Oh, there's got to be. Maybe. It's got to be, surely. It's got to be.
But we haven't set it up. If you do something around a theme, like Dol Guldur, it's very easy to put Thrain in the background of every photo. Yeah. Or like Alfred at Dale. Whereas, because we haven't got that kind of theme this time, it's not as easy to do that. Oh, there's the zoom. What have you got there, Steve? What can you see on the table there?
I'm not going to comment because I think it's unfair if I comment, because I can go right into very crystal clear detail. What I've done is I've zoomed in, so if anyone wants to take a screenshot, they'll have to do it quick.
So this will be all over the web tomorrow.
Yeah, all over the GBHL.
Huge leaks.
What do you reckon about having a little competition now? It's our first episode. I'll find something to give away if people do guess the theme. But obviously we can't answer it till the issue is out.
End of May.
Yeah, the end of May. But it's worth a pop, surely. It's worth a pop.
Yeah, well, I mean, that will involve zero effort on my part, so I'm completely in favour.
I've
put all the effort in already.
Start sending Damien your guesses to SBG Magazine
at gmail.com.
And anyone who gets it right will win something. We'll find something to give away.
Yeah.
But now I am going to turn this picture off. You've had enough.
Good picture though, right? Look how happy we were.
I know, I like that picture. You look slightly smug, I won't lie.
What? Yeah, it's not smugness. What am I looking at, Steve? Come on. What page am I on?
Let me have a look. Let me zoom in here now. 1 minute.
Oh, come on. You shouldn't have to zoom in, mate. It's all there already.
I'm assuming it's like Army of the Dead, 3 Hunters, Legendary Legion type palaver.
Of course it's not.
Let me have a look.
I don't even know if you...
Have you seen how close I can get in here? It's gonna come on your screen in a minute. Let's have a look.
I can't believe you don't know me at all.
I can't see what page that is. Are you in the Hobbit rulebook there?
I am in the Hobbit rulebook.
Is that you're not on? That's not Tara's profile, is it?
course it's Tariel's profile. Of course it's Tariel's profile.
Tariel's profile.
Yeah, Josh Bryant's got it. Oh, of all the people as well. Thank you, Josh. Josh Bryant has said Tariel's entry in Army's The Hobbit. Obviously, he's quite right. He gets me. He does get me.
So why are you...
Judging by the lovesick grin.
I've got an idea.
But bear in mind, as I said, the pages we're on have got absolutely no bearing on it.
Ah, right, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, so it's not about which pages we're looking at.
Ah, right. I have no clue then, I ain't going to lie.
Yeah.
I have no clue.
Oh, really?
Right.
Well, then we're doing something right.
I'm going to turn this picture off.
Cool.
And we're going to move on to the next one. Just get rid of that. Boom. This is my favourite picture out of them all that you sent me, which will be coming up in a second.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And it is the lovely converted Aragorn with Gildor, Glorfindel and the Hobbits.
Ah, cool. Got you.
Yeah, it's really nice. I really like that picture.
I think this is the ultimate anticlimax because I think there's one more after this,
yeah,
and this is meant to be the last one.
Yeah, I literally just worked that out.
It's fine though.
But we can go back. We can go and say this is how we achieved this gorgeous picture.
But no, this is a good example. I'll wait until it pops up. So I don't suppose it matters. It's so confusing because it doesn't matter if I wait up, does it? Oh, it's up. It's obviously up because people are saying Road to Rivendell after years has Tom finally done a Road to Rivendell army and the flight to the Ford deck anyway. Now the thing about this, he says, this is an army list, isn't it?
Is it?
Am I not being mad? From ye olde days, I thought the Road to Rivendell. Here we go. Yeah, so in Legions of Middle Earth, where's our hangouts thing gone? Oh, yeah, in Legions of Middle Earth, one of the army lists you could pick is the Road to Rivendell. It was its own army list, and it's exactly this. And not only that, it's almost, no, it's not the same models. A few of the same models. So it's Glorfindel, Gildor, Pippin, Merry, Sam, Frodo, and Aragorn. So it used to be an army list you could take in the game. It obviously isn't anymore. So that, as we look at it, that photo is in the magazine.
It's a cool photograph.
Yeah, it's cool, isn't it? It came out really well.
I really like that photograph. I really like it.
So yeah, that's in there. But as ever, whenever we've shown a little photo early, we won't give the game away, if that makes sense. So that doesn't mean that I don't want to imply for a second that the theme of the issue is the Road to Rivendell or anything like that. But that photo does appear in the magazine for reasons. It's cool though, right?
Yeah, I think it's cool. Again, like what I touched on before, and I said I don't think people realise when they see a picture in a magazine what goes into it. The fact that you've got the cool scenery and you can't see the bases.
So that was
it's obviously an intentional thing.
Yeah, the bases was, I think that was, I can't remember if it was Tom or James leading that, but they went particularly on this picture, they went really big on it. And Tom's got a bag, like a bag of that fluffy stuff, kind of like a bag of tufts, and they just they covered up all the bases. You normally see the bases. We don't normally have a problem with it, but for this photo, we just wanted to make the hill look a bit greener. Yeah. So we used it to cover them all up. Oh, cool. So the other reason I wanted to show this is, again, a little bit about the process, that hill is one of the Azanalbazar hills. So for issue 2, Rick Fryer made us the hills for Azanalbazar, and in every single issue since, if you look through them, you'll see those hills. We've always used them, and they've just been so good over the years as these kind of really, I don't know, high quality but generic looking cliffs and hills and stuff like that. So so it's always good to get those in.
Different as well, isn't it?
You what?
I say you add a little bit of flock to it.
The flock,
completely different.
Yeah, absolutely, exactly. Yeah. And then what you've got sitting there, about 2 foot behind them, somewhere in the region of 50 trees.
Yeah. Well,
it doesn't look like
as you're
it's that
explaining
far
I'm
away.
going to swap the picture. so that people can see.
So it never looks like it's that far away, and it never looks like it's that many trees. It's stood up on boxes and stuff. And then behind that is the Asnolzar cliffs.
Yeah.
So the whole thing is about 4 foot deep. It's about 4 foot from Aragorn to the cliff at the back. But it never.
People can see it being set up now. I've changed the pic. Can you see that?
To which one? I'm sure it will come up. Oh, it's the one of me and Tom, isn't it? Yeah, yeah. I see what you mean. Yeah, yeah. So it's slightly, but yes, you'll get the idea. Yes, Andy, I sent you that. Good timing. Just while that changes over, let's run through the comments. Bradley says the most famous story of all was definitely written by Tolkien in the dating history of Tariel. Sarfa Angel says amazing, which must be for the reading picture, I think. Bryant thinks the legendary Legion page could be significant. It's not. The pages definitely aren't significant. Dave McShearer in capitals, Road to Rivendell after years. Has Tom finally done a Road to Rivendell army? Yes and no. Chris Murphy says, where is Bill? Yeah, we didn't have Bill, sorry. He should be there. He's just down the cliff. He's lagging behind. He's nagging behind. Bradley Cobden, that Aragorn really is awesome. Thank you very much. It was nice to get some photos of him in the magazine, actually.
He looks cool.
James Miniature Space says, I'm assuming the theme is new edition and learning the new rules. Oh, that's an interesting guess. Josh Bryant says, hashtag justice for Bill. He then says the theme might be Journey of the Fellowship. Chris says, this stream is anti-pony. And Bradley Cobden says, was any terrain made for the issue? Again, perfect timing actually with the photo. There was no terrain made for this issue specifically, but in the photo that you can now see, the house and those ruins are made by Rick Fryer. They're old pieces of his, and they feature in the magazine quite heavily in this one. But
they're cool.
They weren't built for this issue. Yeah, they are really cool. Yeah. You will have seen them. They've both been in it before, though. Actually, if you go in. I want to say in issue, I'm going from memory here, I think in issue 2 in Sam Page's Hunter Orcs Tactica,
yeah,
I reckon there's that Gondor house, there's some fell wilds around one side and Gondorian rangers around the other to do the fell site. I think it's that house. And the ruins have been in tons of pictures. The ruins are our default piece of scenery for something like Tom's Top 10.
Yeah. I'm going to leave you for 2 seconds, Damien, just to chat. I'll be back in a second.
Cool. So if we ever want to do a close-up of a figure with a background, we've been putting them on that piece of scenery for years. So if you go back through again all the issues, you'll probably see that set of ruins in the background of a lot of shots. So yeah, this isn't the same photo, but it gives you some idea of how we go about setting up one of the photos. That you get the idea of the angles and how this will look. I don't want to give too much away about this photo in particular, but this is going to look like it's part of a much larger board. But then when we actually do the photo, we obviously don't have the whole board there at the time. We dress the specific part we need and then move everything around to make it look as good as possible. So you have. You can see there again the Asnolzar hills, then a whole bunch of trees, and you can see how far forward the camera is. And you also, it's not the best example of this we've ever done, but you can see how that ruin's being held up by another hill, kind of in the background as well. So yeah, that gives you that's some idea of like one of the photo setups, and the figures down the front right are probably all models that were in that photo. But we pulled out, so we do that an awful lot. You start with loads and loads of photos in there, and then bizarrely, you often find that having too many models in there makes the photo look worse. So you take a lot of them out. It's like the cover of issue 6 that we did, the big Battle of 5 Armies. That started out with far more models on it, but it just looks cluttered after a while in the background.
I've just so everyone will see in a minute. You can see that there's Citadel Guard in there, some Morannons.
Oh, really?
A troll, Gandalf the White.
Interesting. Very
interesting.
So you got a kind of like Morannon and Gondor face off there, it would seem, but obviously not in anything like the Pelennor Fields or anything. Something to think about.
different.
Solid updates from the thread about just where you've been. You probably want to read through them yourself. Sam Bunnings, who's quite new to the Palantir. How you doing, Sam? Good to see you. He says it's cool to see a new view of the Palantir room. Indeed, this is where we are. The sofa is way back there now. It's crazy stuff. And Arthur Engel says,
sorry, Chris Murphy is commenting on my sharp exit. Actually, Chris, I just got a little text from my wife just saying, can I pop in for a minute? And it was just the cat was acting strange. I had to reassure her that the cat's fine. It's just an idiot.
What was the cat doing? What was the problem?
It was just basically running around in circles. We got a kitten on New Year's Day, and it's not allowed out until next week. It's got to have its nuts chopped off. And it's allowed out. But it's going so crazy in the house. Yeah, it's just going mad. So, yeah.
I like that there's just a kitten running in circles. And like Anna's just gone, is this all right? And you've gone, yeah, it's fine.
And the battery's running.
That's what I do. It starts going,
but yeah.
So what do you think, Steve? Any guesses? Because you genuinely don't know. What's going on there, do you reckon? What are we doing? What are we up to?
Looking at it and sort of reading between the lines in things that you've said throughout the pictures, I've got a feeling it might be more time era specific, and it's
what?
Like a different, like a time era specific. So it might be like second age or something like that. But then Gandalf the White's thrown me out a bit because he's in that picture. So that's thrown me. So I don't know. You've been very vague. You're not being.
Yeah, or deliberately. Yeah. We'll see. See Green Tree's comment. Green Tree says, "I'd run in circles too if that was going to happen." Absolutely, yeah.
It's got to be done.
So, it's got to be done. It's got to be done. But so it's obviously not out for a while. It's out for when's it out? The end of May. It'll be released at 7 Stones, is the hope.
Yeah.
So it's out. Where are we? Start of March or March? So we've got about 10 weeks.
Yeah, just shy of 3 months.
Yeah.
So
but we have to finish it 2 weeks before to get it printed.
So you're releasing that one end of May, then you're releasing one. Fingers crossed for Ardacon.
That's the hope.
Is that it then for SBG for this year?
Yeah, for this year.
Yeah.
And then what we're really excited about is that then the next one, which is probably 7 Stones next year, is number 10.
Yeah.
SBG 10.
That's crazy.
Which is kind of insane to think we ever got there.
Yeah.
But that we've got really cool plans for that. We know what we're doing for issue 10.
You already know.
It's kind of linked to the fact it's number 10 and doing something special and all that. Yeah. But I think we've got it worked out till about 12.
Right.
I think we currently know what's in 11 and 12. You know, whether they will be those things or not.
Yeah.
You never know because stuff does change. Like GW's release schedule changes things, you know.
Yeah.
But currently, if the game was dead, which thankfully it isn't, I could comfortably tell you I think what will be in issue 12 right now. So yeah, we have to work quite far in advance.
I suppose it does, like you say, it does depend on what releases we see between now and then, and
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it could completely change.
The queue, yeah. But yeah, when we did the last stream, which was on Top Table when we announced this one.
Yeah.
The new releases then were the 3 Hunters, right?
Yeah, the 300. Yeah, because I had them, so they'd just come out. Yeah.
3 Hunters. And then since then we've had the 2 new Orc captains.
Yep, Goroth and Zagdish.
Yeah, and
imagine if one of them had been speed painted for a magazine shoot.
Ooh. And we've just had Elfhelm announced.
Yeah, and Elfhelm kind of came out of the blue, right?
Yeah, I didn't expect. I expected
there was no hints about him whatsoever.
No, I expected the Durnhelm first.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we'd already seen it.
But I really wasn't. I thought on that live stream we might get like a release date for Durnhelm possibly. I certainly wasn't expecting a new model, and then there's Elfhelm. Yeah. And how cool is that?
What do you think of him? What do you think of his profile?
I think the model's ace. I really like the model. I thought the on foot one was really good.
Yeah, the foot model.
The profile we went through him last time, didn't we?
Briefly, yeah.
Gondra Warburg. So we've got 65 points. He's a fairly generic captain. Only 5'4", but he gets 3 might. Gets access to heroic accuracy. He's got horse lord, and his special rule is pinpoint accuracy, which can re-roll hit to wound and in the way rules with throwing spear, and never suffers -1 for moving and shooting.
And he's 3+ shoot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think he's awesome.
I think he's good.
Now, I would put like a caveat on it that it does make a difference. He might not be the most awesome. You know, if you're going for like all hero or something, that there might be better choices. But I definitely think he's worth a look. That throw, I think we said it in the last one. That throwing spear will kill. It should kill something every turn.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, you've then got an extra kill from this hero, and I think he's great.
I think he's good. I really like him. I think it's like you said. I think Rohan's become a force that's got multiple builds now, depending what heroes you take and what you put with them. Which a lot of them have, but the amount of heroes that Rohan's got now is crazy. You've got a lot.
But it's nice that the it's not an obvious choice, you know. But and maybe some people would argue it is an obvious choice, you know, if he's not 5/5 in your all hero list, he's not as good as the other ones or whatever. But I definitely think I'd like to give him a go.
Yeah. What's his heroic? What heroic actions has he got on his profile?
Defense and accuracy.
Defense and accuracy.
Yeah. But accuracy is good to have access to it. I said that in the Theoden tactics article I wrote for Warhammer Community. That I think having access to heroic accuracy is really useful.
Yeah.
You know, in someone in your army to get to those back rank stuff.
You very rarely see it used, but I suppose just because it's overlooked a lot by other stuff, and people probably don't think it's worth a point of might. But if
I mean, I remember one of the most effective uses I ever saw of it was in the last edition when it was years and years ago now, but it was Aragorn with Grey Company, and it was an army that was basically standing at the back shooting, but they had Aragorn, so he had a free might point.
Yeah.
So every turn he was doing it to just like gun down heroes and banners and spear supports and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's a horrible list. I played a Grey Company, Legendary Legion Grey Company army in a one-day event just after the last live stream. And
this was at the Forge, wasn't it?
Yeah, and they
I saw your journey vlog.
Yeah, he did exactly that. He just stood in the corner. We were playing Storm the Camp. He sat in his camp, just let me come, and he just shot the hell out of me. By the time I got there, and that was Army of the Dead. He was taking 2 or 3 Army of the Dead warriors off per turn.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Fun?
No. Not a bit, but it is what it is, isn't it?
Not a bit. Not even a little.
No, not fun. But yeah, these things happen, I suppose. What can you do?
Indeed. Indeed.
So what else? What have you got planned after GT this month? Anything in the pipeline, or are you just totally GT Force focused at the moment, hobby-wise?
It'll probably be the magazine stuff, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's what's going to dominate my free time now going forward. But hobby-wise, what I'd like when I come back, I'd like to finish off the things I didn't finish. So I'd like to get Aragorn and Leggy done. And then maybe the Orc Heroes. I've got like the Enforcer undercoated, and I've got Goroth and Zagdush ready to go. So it feels like I should do them.
Yeah.
But then I will have stuff to paint for issue 9.
When are you up north next? Is it just Ardacon, or have you got other plans to come up north?
Just Ardacon, I think.
Yeah.
Like north. Yeah, obviously going to the GT. Yeah, it'll just be that one for me. What about yourself?
What, next month?
Yeah.
Oh, well, this month's crazy because we've got a lot going on with the event at the end of the month. So I'm building boards like crazy. So once that's done, I've not really looked past that yet.
Yeah, sure.
It's going to go back to channel stuff then, top table stuff, what I need painting for battle reports and stuff.
You got to do stuff for Vanguard as well, right?
My warband's half painted anyway, so I got a bit of a head start on that. I've not got it to hand, but yeah, I painted that. Paid half of it ages ago, so they're all behind me. But that's not a bad little game. It's not a bad little skirmish game. It's okay. I quite like it. It's just trying to fit all these systems in now and getting time to do it. I want to play more kill team. I quite like it. It's good.
What's happening in the chat, guys? I think we've still got 24 people watching, but since Green Tree was worried about his nuts, everyone's dropped off.
Yeah.
And it's not us for once.
Yeah.
Oh, God, imagine if we're not live.
Oh, we're live. We're still live because I'm watching us. Who in the chat is going to the GT and what are you bringing? We'll have a little last hoo-ha in the chat before we sort of wrap it up, I think. People are
hoo-ha.
Hoo-ha.
Staff angle just painted.
Just painted.
I have been as well. I've made, hopefully when we get a few comments, I've made progress. I've now finished Gothmog.
You finished?
He's now got a base. Yeah, his base is now done.
Nice. You're welcome.
So that was progress from an hour and a half to do a base.
If my Windows didn't get an update, you wouldn't have even started that.
This is true. Won't be any further. So my hobby plan is to get let's just make. I always have to kind of swap these over now. Get these two done hopefully tonight.
Yeah.
That's my plan. Finish Gurrits and finish the Bannerman tonight.
Gurrits is awesome. The more that I look at Gurrits, the more that I like the model, and which is strange because at first I wasn't overly taken with it because it's so static, but I really do like it now.
Do you want to something fun?
Do I want to what?
So earlier do you want to know something fun?
Yeah, go on.
Earlier today, I dropped this on the floor.
The banner.
The paint handle with the banner.
Ooh.
And it's fine cast.
Ooh.
And I was like, as it went down, I was like, that's gone. That's it. That's my life over. And I picked it up and it hadn't broken. And I was like, that is amazing.
That's a win.
And I've literally, I've just picked it up and it has broken. I just hadn't noticed. And it's broken. Bizarrely, it's not actually at the pole. It's his wrist.
Snap.
His wrist is broken. Yeah. But so it's a really hard model and there's no way you'll see it on this, but can you see that there's a bit of the banner there touching halfway up his forearm?
I can. Yeah.
Yeah, so that banner is still attached to his forearm, but the wrist isn't attached to the hand.
That'd be all right. That'd be fine.
So it's that bit of banner that's holding it on. Oh, Steve, it's not all right. I can see the hole.
It's tournament legal.
This is going to need. This is some emergency super glue stuff. Gonna pop this bad boy in here. Do you want to? People started commenting. Do you want to catch up with that? Will I try not to sob about this?
James's Miniature Space says, very excited by Elfhelm, but now I have to get Gondor at War. Get it, James. It's a really nice book. It's a really nice book to have in your collection, and it's got all the cool new profiles in it. There's no reason not to get it.
I actually last night I finished my read through cover to cover.
Yeah.
Like for the first time, I finished all the fluff stuff. You know, they're talking about different armies.
Yeah.
And I completely agree. It's brilliant. It's a great book.
I really like it. I mean, yeah, some people complained about it a bit when it came out. I don't really know why. I don't know what they expected from it. I think it's everything I expected from it anyway, and more because
it's a really high quality supplement.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good. Dan G. Ross says Bugman's Glowing My Rangers and Gondor Heroes. So he's drinking rum and painting flesh. That could be a nasty mix.
You don't want to do it the other way around.
David Alexander, currently losing my marbles trying to freehand a white tree onto the barding, should I say, of a mounted Elendil. Yeah, that won't be fun. You want to speak to Tom Thorpe, he'll give you good tips. He's done all his cloaks, which is insane.
I hate freehand. Ugh, can't be doing that.
Joe Holzman, I imagine many of us are quiet because we're painting. How's your wet palette, Joe? Let us know, by the way. Joe won a wet palette on one of our first.
I know. I watched some of your trader videos.
Do you use a wet palette, you, Damien?
No, but then again, I think I'm crap at this stuff. It's like the paintbrush thing. I genuinely think I'm dreadful at all the hobby stuff. It's why I'm so slow. I think I just do everything wrong.
Yeah, get one. They're really good, man.
My brushes are in crap state as well. I don't look after them properly. I'm just dreadful at all this.
No, I don't. I've got like pots. I've got 3 of these, 3 like pot noodle pots full of old tatty paintbrushes. I tend to use them. Then my nice expensive ones are up there on a shelf, not being used, because I'm afraid.
That's solid logic. That is.
They're new, not being used. Yeah, I'm a bit weird.
Do you want to know a secret? Can I let you in on a whispered secret on live on the internet?
Go on.
That insane detail brush I just held up, that was Emma's. When she about a year and a half ago.
Don't say it too loud.
Yeah, so a year and a half ago, she got a Phonies company to start painting. They're here actually. She did a couple of them. She's got a long way. This is her Bofa. It's really good. She did really well. And then she hasn't done any yet. And I got her 3 separate brushes. It would be her brushes.
Yeah.
And they sat in this drawer, and she hasn't done any in a year. And I really needed a new detail brush. So I was like,
that'll do.
Yeah, if she ever notices, I'll buy a new one.
For a year, but if she finds out you've took a brush, you're in trouble. Mate.
This is it. Yeah, this is exactly it. Yeah. Someone will tip her off, and she'll go, "Did you take my brush?" Probably you.
What can I say? Where are we? Bradley Cobden. How would you guys base an Iron Hills chariot to make it look exciting?
Matt Davis does a good one.
Matt Davis does a pre-made one, which I think you painted yours up, haven't you?
Yeah, but I got the original, so I don't know. As ever, I don't know how well this will come across on air. But this was, I don't even know if I think it is on sale. But this was his first. Let me try and get more light in. That might be better actually. This was his first sort of prototype for it, which was just the cobblestones.
Yeah.
And it is a bit flat, but he did it for me sort of as a favour at the time. Also, I would just put the Champions variable in it. That makes it pretty exciting.
Yeah, they're done by
that's
how Fredericks.
That's how I'd make that exciting. I'd put Dave Fredericks' Champions variable in. Yeah. But now he does one that's got it's got like a gully, like a ravine. So the sides are raised, but it's designed for the chariot, so the chariot fits in it.
Yeah.
And I also never glued mine down.
It's got like I seen one. It's got like a rock that looks like it's been fired out like catapult and landed and damaged all the tiles. Have you seen that one?
It doesn't ring a bell, but possibly, yeah, it could
awesome.
be.
Yeah, it looks awesome. I'd get it for mine, but I'd already based it. I just based mine the normal way, sand and a bit of flour.
I've also never glued mine down, so you could always base it like that. So it's like jumping off, like some sort of like Santa's sleigh or something.
I was just about to say, it looks like Santa.
Yeah. It is tough because you need a massive, massive base, and most of the base can't have anything on because it has to be flat.
Yeah.
It's a gorgeous, gorgeous kit.
I really liked it. I didn't enjoy.
It's a really great kit. No, I hated it. I absolutely despised it.
Yeah, I did enjoy painting it. It was the goats.
I wouldn't want to paint. Yeah, 6 goats with all those reins and stuff. Ugh.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did have plans to get another one just for the Iron Hills Dwarfs, but thankfully I've magnetised this.
Yeah.
So all the little dudes pop off. So if I ever need to put Iron Hills on it,
yeah,
I can.
Yeah.
To be honest, I'm a bit. Go on.
I said I did the same. I magnetised mine so they can come off. I can't see me investing in another chariot. I really can't.
I'm a bit over the Iron Hills, to be honest. I kind of got them when they first came out because I was excited, but now I'm just not moved by them at all. So I don't. I'm really glad I got the chariot because I got the Champions variable in it, but I just don't see myself doing an army of them.
Yeah, I still like them. I still use them, but I never really liked dwarves. And I said this ages ago. For someone who doesn't collect dwarves, I acquired a lot of dwarves when all the Iron Hill stuff started coming out. I got everything and started converting things, and I've got loads of it now. But yeah, I do like it. They're quite tough. I know they're not a force that people like playing against, and that's probably the reason why I don't play them as often as I do. But
I don't mind them, I've never had that much trouble with them at tournaments. I think they are good, but they never feel broken. I'd far rather play them than like Lake Town or something.
Really?
Personally, yeah. I hate playing horde armies. I just think horde armies have a huge natural advantage in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't be doing with it.
Tie things up, and you've still got a lot of your army left to do what you need to do, haven't you, I suppose?
Yeah, it's the fact that so many objectives are about numbers. So it's not just the in-game comparison. It's not a fight to the death. It's about having more models helps you win games. So.
Yeah.
But that's just me. Zoff Angle has been doing Frodo and Sam at Mount Doom. They're super cool models. You ever painted them?
I have. Let me have a look.
Cool. Go dig them out.
They might be on here, they might not, because I moved everything. No, they're not there. But I did a nice...
Hang on,
hang on, I'm lying.
He's a liar.
I'm telling lies. Let me see how well...
Steve Crow, is it Steve Crow Home Improvements?
Yeah.
He's a known liar.
I did this as a objective marker.
See, all I'm seeing on our hangout thing is your armpit, because I'm on the different camera.
Oh, yeah, you'll see it in a minute.
But
you'll see it in a
I
minute.
imagine in 20 seconds I'll see them.
Yeah, it's great. There's a lot of fun.
They're cool little models.
Yeah, they are nice. Yeah, so I have painted them. Really enjoyed painting them.
Cool.
They were a nice break. I think I was painting... Funny you mentioned Lake Town. I think I did it as a bit of a break in between painting tons at Lake Town.
Yeah, sure.
And they look really nice.
Yeah, you need it.
But they should be...
Josh Bryant... Oh, God.
They should be coming up on the screen now, I think.
Josh Bryant says he's still painting away, can't make the GT. Would be grateful if someone could pick him up a set of Night Lord's Legion dice, because I'm getting into 30k sooner or later. Maybe someone will. Christopher Swift, had to turn down a free ticket due to commitments. That's probably to the GT, is it?
Must be, yeah. I painted more orcs as penance.
Joe... A little technicality from Josh Bryant, that's comparison rather than barding. Joe Holzman, not making the GT because of work. Ryan Ratchford, I haven't done much hobby stuff since I started university. I need to get back into it.
Yes, you do.
Yeah. Well, he sent us a little message for the Palantir 100 that we'll release in 5 years' time. So he's still there. Green Tree is hashtag excited by Elfhelm. Oh, there they are. Oh, there's your little Frodo, Sam. Oh, yeah, they're on a little sort of diorama.
Yeah, I did it as like an objective marker with Gollum.
Yeah, they're really cool. That Gollum model's great as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I like that model.
Then Joe Holzman agrees that the wet pal is great. And Josh has a chat with them. Bradley says he's like me, his brush care is awful. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Yeah, that's exactly what I do. It's like I'm fairly sure I'm doing everything wrong, but I can't think why.
Do you use brush soap?
Brush soap?
Yeah.
No, I use really old water.
No, I want to get some brush soap.
I change my water about once a week.
That's what you need.
Right.
You change your water once a week. So you don't have a full...
This is what I mean.
You don't have a full old milk carton full of spare water and an empty milk carton for dirty water.
No, I've got...
You've gone down
I have the same pot.
I've gone down in my...
No, this is what I mean. This is what I mean. I've got the same pot of dirty water until I can't even see where it is anymore.
And that goes for Joe Holzman as well. You don't need to keep getting up. Water, you can put it in containers and it'll stay there.
It's great, these bottle things are amazing. Josh says, I know the one you're talking about, Steve, you're not going mental. Oh, that's about Matt Davis's base, I reckon.
Ah, right, yeah.
Joe would recommend the palette.
Yeah. Bradley Cobden says, "Yeah, I never want to paint goats again." I agree.
Yeah, it's dreadful trying to get through 6 of them. It really is. It doesn't sound that much, but it's really, really grim. Josh says you've gone down in his estimations because dwarves are great. He's working on a fantasy dwarf lord, lovely mini from back in the day. Yeah, the classic Warhammer stuff's great.
I'm just glad I went
Nine Hills aren't that bad to play.
That low, I couldn't go down further in anyone's estimation, so that's a win.
Well, with my paint care, I've obviously gone down, I reckon. And Bradley Copton says, how do you think, this is good for both of us because we played this a lot, how do you think a Gundabad horde with just orcs and unnamed captains would do? Obviously it's not going to be amazing, but do you think it could win any games? No.
No. I think
Steve?
you'd need something in there. You'd need something in there. That's like fight 3 with a couple of fight 4 in there.
Fight 3 is the kicker.
Yeah.
I played a lot with them before There and Back Again.
Yeah.
So it was, and I really enjoyed it. That's when I did my army for it. So you basically had Azog, Bolg, and Gundabad orcs, and the orcs being fight 3 is just so tough.
Yeah.
Just an army of fight 3 stuff, and the strength 4 and ancient enemies is nice, and you can get to defense 6. But I mean, you'll win some games. Like any army can win games, but
you've got. I mean, that's the thing. You've got to win. You've got to win that for the strength 4 to count. You've got to be winning the combat. And
Yeah.
if you fight 3, you're coming up against something that's got, you know, more dynasty. It's got banners. I mean, banners will help you, I suppose, but
you put that's my Lake Town example again. You put that against Lake Town, and they'll have twice as many models as you.
yeah,
So they'll have twice as many dice, and they're let's assume they go with unnamed captains. So they're only courage 2. So you actually have the fight value on them, but 2 dice against 1, the 2 dice win every time.
yeah.
And you just won't be able to stop them. So it's cool and it will look good. And by all means, prove me wrong. I'd love to see that because I love Gundabads. I think they're awesome.
Yeah. The models are lovely.
No.
I think the normal Gundabad Warriors, they're there for me just as filler to like fill gaps and make points up for everything else.
I tell you what, I do think could do well. It doesn't work nearly as well anymore. But in the old edition, at low points, using an unnamed Gundabad captain as your general. So you'd have maybe like up to 400 points or 500 points if you didn't want Azog. You could have some of the monsters. You could have loads of ogres, a troll, Gundabad orcs, and then the unnamed captain. Because in the last edition, he got Master of Battle.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
So you had like a 50-point leader with Master of Battle, which was amazing.
Yeah.
It doesn't work now because he doesn't get it.
Yeah.
That's the army you want to build. Try it.
Yeah, do it. I mean, it's a cool army anyway. It looks awesome on the table. A lot of Gundabads on the table, which was just like the when I came down and filmed for your battle report. It looks amazing. How many Gundabads did we have that day? Can you remember?
175.
That's crazy. Crazy. It looked amazing.
175 Gundabads. That was. Oh no, you're talking about issue 5, aren't you?
Yeah, the one Dale.
I think we had more for issue 6. So that's let me show the hangout picture. That's the issue 6 picture. So you can bounce some light into that. Like that.
What issue is it?
Issue 6 was the Battle of 5 Armies one, which is that one, that's got 175 orcs. But then your one was issue 5.
Right, let me. I'll show the picture because I think my camera's clearer. My camera's clearer than yours. Yeah. That's madness.
Is that issue 6?
Yeah.
Have you got 6 or 5?
I've got 6.
And then on
With
issue 5,
all the ranks and all the trolls and ogres and everything.
Issue 5, we had 150 Gundabads and 40 Berserkers. So there's more infantry in that picture, but some of them are Berserkers.
Yeah.
Whereas for the Battle of 5 Armies ones is 6, we left the Berserkers behind. Theme, mate, innit?
They just look awesome, man. They just look awesome.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. David Murphy says he can't wait for the GT.
Me neither, mate. I'm really excited.
And then Bradley Cobden says, yeah, I've changed my water twice this week. And I've even added a drop of soap into it. Crazy people. Crazy people.
Changing your water, that's madness.
Green Tree, I've got to get some kips. A good night to Walt and Steve. Let the cat keep them on. Good night, Green Tree, if you're still there. But no, he's not keeping them. They are coming off. He does my head in. And I'm gonna get the vet to put them in a little thing, and I'm gonna shake him at him when he's doing my head in. It's gonna rattle.
That's so well adjusted.
Let's have a look. Chris says, "Oops, my paint water is always filthy. Matches my armies."
At least he admits it.
Yeah. Brad says, thought that could be the case. I beat the Fellowship minus Gandalf and Bozzy yesterday. How do you think my original Grimhammer Horde with their would do now? I assume it's just how do we think it would do now? What with the new rules?
Better.
Yeah.
Much better.
They're far better now. Far better.
Grimhammers are awesome.
Yeah.
Grimhammers are wicked. Strength 4 with the new throwing weapons, defense 7. Oh, amazing stuff.
I think we see a lot more.
Amazing stuff.
Josh says, Uruks with just generic captains were brutal last edition. Best generic captain in the game, no question. I think Uruks in that theme where you just got unnamed captains that do quite well.
I disagree.
Do you? Let's do
the best unnamed captain. Rivendell Knight captain.
Yeah. Well, how expensive is that compared to an Uruk captain?
Oh, a lot more. Yeah. But, best unnamed captain.
Yeah.
Even the Dolan Roth one. Mounted Dolan Roth with a lance. Like the Knight of Rivendell, 5/6. Oh, grim. Absolutely grim.
Alright then, let's put it this way. What's the best unnamed on foot captain?
Oh yeah, probably.
It's
Yeah, probably
Iron
Isengard
Hills?
one on foot. I think.
Iron Hills?
Yeah, well, yeah, because an Iron Hills one is. Well, he doesn't have the strength, does he? It should be better because he's more points.
But he gets the sort of mini master of battle rule, doesn't he?
Yeah, it could be Iron Hills.
Which is quite awesome.
Bit slow.
Mm.
There you go.
Um,
David Murphy, I don't change my porter. I just wait until most of it's dried up and then I top it up. That's what I do.
Animal. David, you are an
Except
animal.
I don't top it up. I will once it gets to that point.
Doesn't it get all thick at some point?
Oh, not really.
It's like
I don't know.
You'll get to the point where you won't have to shade your models because the water's that dirty when you're painting it on.
Yeah, but no, hang on. That's an important caveat because this is dirty paint water for washing brushes, but this is clean water for mixing with paint.
Ah, right, okay.
So I do have if I'm watering down paints, I have clean water.
Yeah.
Although I say that's clean. I mean that's just clean in the sense that it doesn't have paint on.
Yeah.
That's not new. Like this water generally has dust on it.
Heathen.
You know?
You are a heathen.
This is why I've never got better at painting, I think.
DC Hobbit League, I'm assuming that could be Devin.
It could be Devin. Devon's in.
If it is Devin, how you doing? If it's not Devin, how you doing anyway? Whoever you are, let us know. Let's have a look. That picture of the Gundabad Army is legendary. How many people contributed to that collection? Ooh,
If we're talking about issue 6,
yeah.
We have in there, it says a special thank you to Will Champion, Stephen Bonnar, Matt Davis, and Steve Crow, no less, for lending us. So that's 4, and then me, Dave, Callum, and Tom. So it was 8. For issue 6, 8 people contributed.
That's cool, man.
For the big army. But yeah, that was 175 Gundabad Orcs, 12 captains, 12 ogres, 7 trolls, and Stumpy. It was cool. It's good fun.
It looks awesome. He also says, by the way, I'm giving Steve a mic for his birthday for these podcasts. Am I still coming across as very quiet? Because what I might do, if that's the case, is I might get... I do have a lapel mic. For the next one, I'll use that.
I don't know, mate, but no one said anything about the audio for a while, so I think we're probably doing all right.
Yeah. It might just be Devin.
Yeah. But he's just come into it. So he's come in and it sounds crap. And he's like, this sounds crap. Whereas everyone else has just got used to it. And it sounds fantastic compared to how bad it was.
Yeah, that's true. You should have heard it at the beginning.
David Alexander says, Canadian strategy battle gamers, you have 10 minutes remaining.
10 minutes remaining.
I saw a comment from Taylor earlier, though. He said that we're still on, but we've been muted.
That's kind of...
I feel like I should hold up a sign saying Hi Canada or something.
The quality of this chat, that kind of seems pointless having us on.
Yeah, absolutely.
David
I think all the feed might disappear. Yeah, absolutely.
David says, I'm an animal, Steve. Crazy man. Dan G. Ross. Dan, is it annoying you that we call you Dan G. Ross now? Because I can't whenever I see your name, I
can't move past it now.
Are we working on a similar principle as using a dirty frying pan because it remains flavour?
Do people do that?
That is rotten. We're not students, Dan G. Ross.
That's rotten. That is dreadful.
A dirty
is that
frying
true?
So some people have sausages that taste like bacon. That's not right.
Oh man, I tell you what you should do though. You know you shouldn't wash a teapot, right?
So I don't have a teapot.
Oh god.
Yeah.
I've got 3.
So next time someone says, "I can't believe you've not got a teapot," I'll say, "Well, my mate's got 3."
No, I've got 4. I've got 4. We've got 1 single cup, one for 2. 1 single cup with a strainer built in.
Hang on. You've got a teapot that makes enough tea for 1 cup.
Yeah.
Why don't you just make it in the cup?
Because it's loose leaf tea, and it tastes better if you brew it in a pot.
We can brew it in the cup.
You can't brew it in the cup with leaves, can you?
You get one of those mesh things, you can't you?
Oh yeah, you can put it in a little cage thing, but that's not. You want it in a pot.
Or a tea bag.
Yeah, if you want to go, if you want to like drop your tea, if you want to. Tea bags made up of all the crap they sweep off the floor.
That's all right. I like that crap.
Tea. It's tasty crap.
A dirty tea bag with a frying pan I've not washed for 3 months. I'm away.
We've got an individual one with a strainer built in, one for about 2 people, and then one big one. We've got 4 teapots.
No, I make mine in my cup. I don't. It might be the builder in me. I make it in a cup.
Yeah, I think it is.
Making it on
I'm not.
stirring it with a
I want to make something very. I want to make something very clear. I'm not anti tea bags. I'll have tea bags during the day and stuff. But if you give me the choice, it's tea leaves from a pot every day of the week.
I mistakenly bought, because I like, there's a brand. Oh, you must have it down south. Yorkshire tea. It's the best tea by far. And that's
M&S.
That's coming from a man from Lancashire who lives in Cheshire, saying Yorkshire tea is the best.
M&S extra strong loose leaf tea.
See, I've had that, and it's good. I'll give it. It's good, but I prefer Yorkshire tea bags.
Fair enough.
And I went to the shop, ran out of tea bags, went and just grabbed Yorkshire tea. Didn't realise it was loose leaf.
No.
And preferred it from a tea bag.
That's insane. You must have done it wrong.
No, I made it. I had a strainer, made it, and preferred it from a tea bag.
Yeah, but you can only. It's not. It's about how long you brew it for and how much tea you put into water.
It's 3 minutes.
It depends on how much tea there's in it.
A cup.
For me, if it was just me,
a cup of tea.
If it was just me in a small teapot,
yeah,
two teaspoons of tea,
yeah,
and then let it brew for about 2.5 minutes.
See,
that's your best tea.
I'm 3 minutes on the button. Bang on, 3 minutes. Brew it.
Yeah.
It's done. I'll make you a brew.
Arguably, we've gone off topic.
I'll make you a brew.
I mean, let's face it. It's like
there's a people in Canada now. If you've got the subtitles, I'm thinking, what are these guys talking about?
I will say that it's like, for me, it's like picking between the six Middle Earth movies. Right, I've got a favourite, but I love them all.
Yeah.
So I've got my favourite tea, but just a tea bag in a cup is still better than almost every drink in the world.
Yeah.
Like, I still, it's just ranking your teas. It's like trying to pick your favourite kids, although that's quite easy for me.
So you've only got one. Don't you know what?
Shall we try to get back into it? Chris reckons I'm posh for having two pots of water. Yeah, that's what we've learned tonight.
He's not that posh because he hasn't got a milk carton full of water by the side of him.
That's how you know you're posh. Milk carton full of water.
I've got 2 pots. 2 pots.
He's well posh. Steve's posh. Posh Steve.
Posh. I've never been called that. Never been called that.
Dave says, don't mess with anything. And Dan G. Ross says, keep it up. It makes Mrs. G. Ross laugh. And he has, just to confirm, he spelt that G. Ross. Yeah. So he's well in on there. He loves it. Good on you, Dan.
G. Ross,
everything tastes like chicken.
Well when we say your name.
Bradley says everything tastes like chicken except the chicken, and Zarfai Ankle says, "Oh no, oh my, no teapot. We're with a barbarian." Yes.
Oh gosh.
Dan G. Ross wants to make it clear that he's not saying the dirty pan is something you do, just something that is something I've heard. Fair enough. The point of that whole thing.
Dan G. Ross. I think you back
possibly. The point of that whole thing was you're not meant to wash a teapot. Like the teapot's meant to retain the flavour of the tea.
Yeah, you said that about 45 minutes ago.
Yeah, but then you derailed it. So I'm a bit iffy about it though. I do still wash it.
Yeah.
I don't wash it often, but I wash it because you can't see inside it,
Yeah. What's the thinking behind that? Why would you not wash it?
Well, supposedly it's like what Dan's saying about the frying pan that it actually imbues with the flavour of the tea. You know the idea that you should curry, if you make fresh curry, it'll taste better the second day because it's had more time in the fridge for the flavours to kind
of chilies, anything.
Yeah, anything like that that can can't think of the word.
Marinate.
Leave it to marinate. Yeah, exactly.
And they call
so that's yeah, absolutely. You're the cultured one, and I think it's the same with the tea. That the idea is that if you it's not going to do it. It's just hot water. You put boiling water in it, so it's going to kill any bacteria if there is anything in it. But the tea on the surface supposedly makes it better. I don't know. I'm not sure on that. Dave Mishira says tea drinkers are weird. I've always said it. Yeah, fair enough. I think it's hard to refute that over the last 5 minutes.
Yeah. Chris Murphy, you are an animal, Steve, not having a teapot. Oh, come on, Chris. I didn't have you down as a teapot, man.
I see you've skipped over Zarfi Engel saying I'm with Damien on this one.
Yeah, obviously I skipped over that.
And he says you must be insane. Josh Bryant, at least we're not Americans who drink their tea cold or make it in Boston Harbour. Absolutely. Tragic waste of tea. I don't care about the politics of that. I entirely support their desire for fair wages and independence, but don't chuck the tea away.
No. Dominic says tea is never off topic. Very true. I drink too much tea, I think. I drink way too much tea. If there's such a thing. Tea
we did it on the. We didn't count them this time, but on the photo shoot for I think it was issue 7 or issue 6. So it's 2.5 days. We got through 119 tea bags.
Nice.
That's a true story. There was a few of us, but because we had the boxes, so you could know when the boxes were running out. That's a lot of tea.
That is a lot of tea. That's a lot of tea. Frederick says.
Frederick Shaw's.
Tea time with Steve and Damien. Just talk about tea. It's okay.
It's tea time.
It gets better. It gets better. David says.
We could do that.
The nib of my hyper detail brush just fell off into my paint water, leaving me with only a handle. You win this round.
That is amazing. Lendl wins.
And Josh
Steve.
Bad luck. Yes.
We're at 10 o'clock.
Yes.
Which means we were 2 hours from when we were meant to start, and I don't quite know what's happened in the middle with that kind of going off. So, dare I suggest that we, for the first of our 3 live streams, and actually sign off?
Yes, I think we should sign.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think we should. I think we should wrap it up there. I think it's a good call. We did
2 hours is our limit.
About 15 minutes, but yeah, I think we've had a good thing. And I think what we'll do for next month's stream is possibly
not update your computer.
100% before the stream starts. I'll update my computer. And I think what might be a good shout is if you get a wired connection, Damien. Hashtag just saying.
I don't know if I can up here, mate. I need I'll have to get like a 10-meter Ethernet lead and run it up the stairs.
Do it. $2.99 off eBay.
I could do that, I suppose.
Yeah.
That's not the worst thing in the world, you know. I might try that because 10
work, though.
Boom boom in jokes. Yeah, do you know what? I will. I'll try and do that and see if it makes a difference. Or maybe we'll have maybe we could do a little test one in between.
Yeah.
See if it makes a difference.
So I think.
But yeah, that's a good idea.
The next stream we can briefly talk about how you got on at the GT.
That sounds good.
Will your Palantir be before the next stream?
I hope so.
I need to send you a video.
Yeah, the honest truth of it is that we're if you look at last year when we had 6 months off, it's at the same time of year. It's because we were doing the magazine. We've got the free time to essentially do the magazine or do the show.
Yeah.
So we really want to get this one done because it's episode 100. So it ain't going to be this week. I know that much, but maybe a couple of weeks after the GT. Yeah. I'd hope episode 100 is up before the next time we do one of these.
Yeah. Well, I need to send you a video.
I hope so. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, if anyone's out there, we've had quite a few through now, which is really cool. But if anyone out there is a fan of the Palantir and wants to be part of episode 100, there's some faces in here. Like you've got your David Alexanders and your Chris Murphys, who are particular. And David Murphy, like long-term Palantir
old school
commenters. Yeah, Zarfi Engel. Send us a video. There's a video up on the GBHL about it saying we need you. Send us a little video, like a minute long or something, saying hi or your favourite thing about the Palantir. We've had some brilliant ones so far. I'm so excited about showing them.
You've had some belters.
Yeah, there's some stuff that's absolute quality, and these poor people are just waiting for months to see their moment in the light, because there's some genuinely, some of the effort that's gone into a couple of them in particular is amazing.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, if you do want to get something done and send it over to us, email them to sbgmagazine@gmail.com or PM me on Facebook or whatever, and we can sort it out.
Yeah, do it.
And we're trying to make episode 100 a kind of community episode of people's like memories about the show or something like that. Yeah. So yeah, that's the hope.
We've got to do ours. We've got to send ours over, so don't let me forget. Give me a nudge. If you've not had it by next week, give me a nudge, because I'm meeting up with Ben this week, so the plan is to get it done. Dan G. Ross,
get something over from Ben, definitely.
Yeah, Dan G. Ross says he's going to knock something up, and if it's not got a crusty old frying pan in that video, I will not be impressed. But yeah, I think...
like Chris Murphy says, I got a teapot to do his tea toast properly. I love that.
So that's the only reason he's got a teapot, and he's slagging me off. You know, I tell you. Right, I think we'll wrap it up there, Mister. And thank you everybody.
Thank you all so much for joining us.
Yeah.
Oh, Dave Fredericks has just turned up as we're leaving. Like to the party, hope to come. It really did, Dave. We're ending now, mate. Go and watch it back and just skip the 15 minutes where it doesn't work.
Skip the first.
After that, it's on point.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. But yeah, that'll be it. So I'm going to call the stream there, and
we'll see you the first Sunday of April.
Yeah, which would be cool. So thank you much, everyone, for watching.
Is that Easter Sunday?
It's not, is it? It's the Sunday.
No, it's not. No, 7th of April.
It's Mother's Day the week before, right?
Yeah, Mother's Day is the week before the 31st. Yeah. So I think we'll aim for the 7th of April.
We'll aim for that. If it changes, we'll let you know on the Facebook group, but that's what we'll aim for.
Absolutely.
So thank you all for watching, and we'll sign off.
Indeed.
Good night, everybody.
Cool.
Peace.
Night, guys.